হেই দেয়ার ফোকস, আশা করি সবাই ভালো আছেন। কোড ইনসেপশন ইভেন্টের 5th সেশনে সবাইকে স্বাগত। আজকের সেশনের আলোচ্য বিষয় ওপেন সোর্স এবং ডেভেলপার কমিউনিটি। এই সেশনটি ইংরেজিতে রেকর্ড করা হয়েছে, তবে আপনাদের সুবিধার কথা চিন্তা করে ইংলিশ এবং বাংলা দুই ভাষাতেই এটির সাবটাইটেল অ্যাড করা হয়েছে। সো উইথাউট ওয়েস্টিং এনি টাইম, লেটস গেট স্টার্টেড।
Hello everyone. This is the session about get started with open source and developer community. So today's agenda is what is open source, why is it so vital in the programming world, what are the responsibilities of an ideal open source citizen, introduction to version control and Git, what are some of the best learning resources of learning Git, using GitHub and contributing to an open source project for the first time. Does open source give us the opportunity to collaborate with developer communities? What is the importance of communities in the development of a developer's journey? Some popular developer communities to join right now. So before jumping to the whole session, I would like to introduce myself. I am Seema Saran, currently working as an associate system engineer at IBM. Also, I am a CNCF speaker. I'm the organizer of CNCF Jaipur and AWS UG Jaipur. I'm the founder of Bash Women Community, and I am also Red Hat Certified Engineer, Red Hat Certified System Administrator, and Red Hat Certified Specialist in Ansible Automation. I recently did my GitLab Certified Associate exam, and also I am Microsoft Certified in Azure Fundamentals, and I am an Auth0 ambassador also. Also, I have a YouTube channel. I love to share my knowledge. You can check it out at youtube.com/Seema Saharan, and you will find some videos about open source, Linux, and many more. So let's just start the session. So what exactly is open source? So when we talk about open source, we basically talk about open source software. You see that some of the main projects like Linux, Python, React, and Go, if you have heard of the Go language, and there are so many famous projects that are open source. So what does it mean to be open source? Open source means you can look to the source code that is available on GitHub. Usually it's available on GitHub, and you can just modify that according to you. So there are some open issues, and you can contribute to that if you want. So if you like Python so much, and you have some idea about that you can contribute to the community, so you can just do that. How? I will explain you the procedure, how you can make a pull request. You can contribute to any projects, and if you are afraid to just start with some big projects, that's okay. That's not an issue. We have tons of projects for beginners, so you can just start with the beginner projects, or you can directly jump to the big projects like Python, Linux, and all. So the basic requirement that you should have to contribute to any project is to have the knowledge of that particular software or language. So let's suppose you want to contribute to Python. Okay, so you must be a user of Python, so that you know how Python works behind the scenes, how functions, how packages are built. So all the things you must know. Okay, and also you think that you are not much into coding, that's okay. If you like to design something like posters or do the community work, so there are multiple kinds of open source contribution, not just code, but you can also share your knowledge in public events like conferences and all, so you can also do that. So why is it so vital in programming world? First of all, you will see that companies like Google, IBM, and many more promote open source. But why? Okay, so the first and the main thing is that the cost of that software is so much less when you make it open source. Second thing is, when you make a project open source, so there will be like thousands of developers working on the same software, and they will be looking on the code base, whatever issues they are facing, whatever new issues are coming, whatever the new pull requests are coming. Okay, so there will be so many eyes on that particular project, so that project will be so much more good, while we compare with just 4 to 5 developers working on just a single project. So these are the main benefits of making a project open source. So what are the responsibilities of an ideal open source citizen? So first of all, you should know that in open source, the main thing is that you must be really open, and that's why it's open source. And you should be like motivated to share your knowledge at every step. Suppose you have some peers who are like working on Python and they are just stuck. That's just a basic example. Okay, so you can just share your learnings, you can just help them in getting started with open source. That's also a contribution. Next thing is, share ideas through formulation and implementation. Test and develop. These are all the basic idea of a project, of any project, not even open source, but any kind of project, it will involve all these things. But the main thing should be the eagerness to learn and share your knowledge. Okay, also benefits of open source is that you will be the eagerness to learn and share your knowledge. Okay, also benefits of open source is that you will be working with developers across the globe, not even India or US or Brazil. You will be working with almost every developer. So why does it matter? First of all, networking is really important in IT industry because it can open multiple opportunities for you. Suppose someone like your work, so they can provide you some good opportunities that you didn't think of. You are just contributing to open source and they are noticing your pull requests, your issues, how you collaborate with others, how much you are active in the community. They all notice that. Okay, so be active in the community, be open, share your knowledge, and be consistent. It's not like you will be just contributing one time, but be consistent. Okay, that's the only thing they need. Now we will discuss about version control and Git. Before jumping to that, I would like to share some of the resources how you can learn Git. If you just type on YouTube, there are multiple courses of Git. You can just learn that. Basically, there are some commands, but these commands can be tricky if you are working on a large project. So I will just share the basic commands with you, that how you can make a pull request, but it's your task to learn more about Git after that. There are to make any open source projects, there are multiple platforms. One of them is GitHub, on which most of the open source projects are deployed or uploaded. Like, you will find Linux, you will find Python, you will find Kubernetes, Docker, React, any open source project you will find on GitHub, and then you can check their code base, how you can contribute. There will be contribution guidelines also, and you must follow them. Otherwise your pull request will be rejected if you don't follow them. I will just demonstrate a quick demo how you can create a pull request. So when you first visit github.com, if you don't have your GitHub account, you can just sign up, and if you already have the GitHub account, you can just sign in. And most of you would know how to create a repository. If you don't know that, then I will just explain that. So if you see, when you just type github.com, it will display me this, and you can just go here and create a new repository. You can choose any template if your organization have. This is just my organization. Okay, so I will just name it as demo tutorial. Okay, you can also give the description. If let's suppose you have a website or any project, so the project must be descriptive, like it should have a description, because if someone sees your project, they won't know what this project is about, right? They won't go to your code base and search like what the code is doing and all. So they will just see the description, what it does. So I will just write this is a demo tutorial, and you can mark this repository as public or private. Public means that everyone can see that and access that code. Private means that it's just me who can access that, and whoever I would like to assign this project to will see that. So there are some things that you can also add to your repository. First is the readme file. Okay, so let's discuss what is a readme file. So whenever you go to any project, like if I go to this is a project which I am a maintainer of, and if you see that there is like this is the code base, okay, and then there is a readme.md file. MD means markdown. This readme file will explain everything about this project, what it does, how you can make a pull request. If you don't know what a pull request is, there are some tutorials, how you can fork this repo, how you can clone this repo, how to create a pull request, and getting started with Git and GitHub. And also there are some guidelines how you can contribute, so you must check this. Okay, always check if there are any contribution guidelines to a particular project. So it explains that what languages they are using, and contributors list, and the maintainers list, and the license. Okay, so that is about the readme file. So GitHub is asking me if I want to create a readme file or not. So I will say yes. It's not mandatory, but it's really good to have a readme file for your project, because public will see your project and it should be explanatory what your project is about. Next is you can just add a git ignore file, but I don't need that in my project because it's just a simple demo. Next thing is choose a license. I will just choose the MIT license. Which license to choose, you can just Google it out. After I made this repository, it will be like my username / the name of the repository that I just gave, that was demo-tutorial. Next is I see only license and readme file. That's okay, and we just added this, right? Okay, now if I want to contribute to any project, first I will see that if there are any issues opened. Okay, there will be labels like good first issue. Okay, so if you are completely a beginner, so you can just filter that out, that I just want good first issues. Okay, so also some tip, if you are contributing to a large project like Python, Linux, any big project, So what you can do is, you won't be going through all the code base, right? Because it can take up so much time. So what you can do is, you can just go to the issues tab and search if you can work on some issue, and don't just start there. Okay, ask the maintainers or the admins of that project that I am interested in contributing to this issue, can you assign me this? Okay, always ask and participate in the conversation. Plus, don't be disrespectful to anyone. In open source, it's really good to be respectful. Not even open source, in general life, you should be respectful to anyone. Okay, so what I was talking about is, just look for the issues if the project is big. And if you notice that if you are you are user of Python and you see that there is some issue with something you are working on, you can just go to issues, click on new issues, and explain everything that you are facing. Okay, the title should be descriptive, and you can just add the details here. Now, this is in my GitHub. There are 3 ways to clone. So you can just clone this repository either by HTTPS, SSH, and there is also an option for GitHub CLI. And if you don't want to clone this repository to your local, you can just open it with Codespaces. Codespaces is like your Visual Studio Code in your browser, so GitHub provides that. But I will just use SSH and copy this complete line is copied. Now I'll just open my terminal and I will say git clone and paste it, and now that you see that it's cloned. Okay, so I used SSH. So for SSH you need to create your SSH keys in your local system, and then you need to upload that on your GitHub account. You can just Google it. I am not doing that process right now. Okay, the whole tutorial is on GitHub. You just type that how to add SSH keys to your GitHub account and you will find the whole steps. Okay, first of all, this was my repository, so I don't need to fork this repository. But let's suppose you are contributing to some other project, like let's suppose you are just contributing to this project. So first step would be to fork this repository. Since it's in my account, so I don't need that. But first, always fork the repository that you want to contribute to, and then clone this repository. Okay, like I did now. So I will just go to demo tutorial, and there you see that there is license and the readme file. So if I see the contents of the readme file, so this is a demo tutorial that you see here. And if I say if I see the license, then we chose the MIT license. Okay, first, before contributing to any project, so you can just check which branch you are on, and you are on the main branch. Okay, you never contribute directly to the main branch. I mean, it won't allow you though. So first step would be to create a new branch. So to create a new branch and directly switch to that branch, you need to use git checkout -b. Checkout will just change to that branch, and -b will create a new branch. Okay, so I will name the branch as feature. Okay, now if you check which branch you are on, it says feature and it's strict and it's in green. So that's how you know that which branch you are working on right now. So now that you have created your new branch and you are working on that branch, now the next step would be contributing to the code or the documentation or the design. So I will just update the readme file. That's just basic demo. This project is to show you how you can make your first pull request. Okay, this is the new line and I will just save it, and if you check git status, you will see that it's modified. Okay, and changes not staged for commit. Okay, so there are some things you need to know about Git. It knows that you have changed, but it has not saved those changes. So to save those changes to Git, what you need to do is git add dot means you are just adding all the files that you have changed. And if you just want to specify a single file name, that can also work. So I have added readme file. Now Git will know that yes, the changes that are made in the readme file have to be saved. Okay, if you check git status again, it's in green, changes to be committed. Okay, after git add, your changes are staged. Now you have to commit those changes. So this command is git commit -m. -m is the message that you want to insert. Okay, so you want to type that added a new line in readme.md file. So this message must be descriptive. That's what I was talking about. Your pull request should be descriptive. Also, I forgot one thing. The first letter should be in capital letters, and you should not use any full stop. Okay, and also if you want to give more information about what you changed, so you can also define it with another -m and then say this is for the first timers, that how to make a pull request. Okay, so this will be the title of your pull request and this will be the description of your pull request. Okay, and if I say enter, so you will see that one file changed, one insertion. Okay, now you check git status. On branch feature, nothing to commit, working tree clean. That means we have saved those changes. That means we have committed those changes. Now the next step would be push those changes to your remote. You are working in your local system. Okay, these changes are not reflected in your remote. Let me refresh this and let's see if the changes are made. Nope, no pull request, nothing is changed. So the next part would be git push origin and the branch that you want to push. Okay, so we were working on the feature branch and I will just say git push origin changes. What is this origin? Now if I do git remote -v, you will see that there is something called origin, and the origin is set to this thing. So this was our repository name. So what is this origin? It's the remote URL. Okay, cma1711/this. We are working on this repository, right? So this remote was set to this repository. So that means whenever we type origin, it will work on for this repository. Now when I did git push origin feature, you have seen this change. Okay, so what it says, feature had recent pushes less than a minute ago. We just did that, and we will just click on this. So what was my commit message? I will just back search, and it was my commit message. So what I did was added a new line in readme file. That's what I see here, and this was the description, that this is for the first timers to how to make a pull request. That's what I see. And now if you are contributing to some others project, so you will see that they will be adding some reviewers, and they can assign that pull request to someone, and there will be many labels to that pull request, and if they have some project or milestones. Also they can have GitHub actions in their project, so that they will know that if you didn't have that project or code tested, let's suppose you didn't write the test for that code, they will know that that GitHub action will fail and your pull request will fail. Okay, so you will see red crosses for your pull request. But since I don't have any GitHub actions in this project, so it's not a problem, and I can see that what changes the contributor has made. Green line means they added and red means they deleted. So one file is changed, that is the readme file, and one contributor, that was me, and they will just, so maintainers will see that this change is made, and this is the pull request title, and they can see that what files is changed. And commits, they can also see that any checks, any GitHub actions. There was no GitHub action, so it won't matter. So I'll just do merge, confirm merge. Okay, the pull request is merged now. That means you have done your first contribution or any number of contributions. So that's how you do it, and it will be reflected to the main project. Next is, does open source give us the opportunity to collaborate? Absolutely yes. So the best thing to learn is collaborate with people. You will get to know that how you work in the industry on real time. Personally, if I talk about me, I was already contributing to open source, and when I joined my organization, so it was really helpful, because I was already knowing how you can make a pull request and everything. I knew that already, so it was so helpful for me, how you can communicate with your teammates, everything. So communication is also important, not just code, so focus on that too. Next thing, what is the importance of communities? Okay, so this is the most important part, because there are multiple communities present, and they are really helping people to contribute to open source or get started with that, and they are doing something good to students every day. So it's good that you should be a part of a few communities, not all but few. So some popular communities that you can join right now is Free Code Camp, MLH, Eddie Hub, Bash Women community, that's me, and AS8 organization. Absolutely. So thank you so much for joining in, and I hope you get to learn few things from me, and yeah, you can just start contributing, and you can connect with me on my socials. Thank you so much, and may the source be with you.
থ্যাঙ্কস ফর ওয়াচিং ফোকস। আমাদের এই ইভেন্টটিতে কোলাব করেছে দুইটি পার্টনার অর্গানাইজেশন, তারা হলো ব্যাশ ওমেন কমিউনিটি এবং ভিশন গ্রিন অর্গানাইজেশন। আমাদের পার্টনার অর্গানাইজেশনগুলো খুবই সাপোর্টিভ কিছু ইনিশিয়েটিভস গ্রহণ করেছে, সুতরাং প্লিজ তাদের সাইটগুলো দেখুন এবং দেখুন তারা কী সার্ভিসেস প্রোভাইড করছে, কী ইনিশিয়েটিভ গ্রহণ করেছে। এটি শুধু আমাদের অর্গানাইজেশন বা তাদের অর্গানাইজেশন জন্যই নয়, বরং আপনার জন্য খুবই সহায়ক হবে। সকল লিঙ্ক আপনারা ভিডিওর ডেসক্রিপশনে পেয়ে যাবেন। Thanks again for watching. Join our Discord server to support our mission of creating the first ever developer community of Bangladesh. If this video was helpful, please leave a like, subscribe to our channel for watching amazing programming related contents in the future.